Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to Miss Haida and my fellow friends. So for this activity, I'm going to talk about the types of attention grabber technique in a speech, which is one of those is bold statement. So bold statement can use in introduction, body, and conclusion as well. But mostly it can use most of in introduction part because it will give more impact to the audience. So the introduction is the first part of a speech where the topic is introduced and audience attention is captured. Literally, you can use a bold statement to amaze your listeners and seek their attention at the beginning of your speech. Right. A bold statement contains information that someone may find difficult to believe or deny assumptions people may make about a topic. Starting your speech with a bold statement immediately connects your audience as they try to find out whether you're right or wrong. This can encourage them to explore a topic they may have otherwise not been interested in. Yet, it is to support your bold statement with evidence to keep your credibility is considered as very important task to do. A bold statement can take the form of an atypical opinion or an interesting fact, which this strategy is fitting for speeches that provide a unique outlook for a topic. So, for example, if you're giving a speech about coral reef preservation, start with a fact about a rare coral reef organism that contradicts a commonly held belief or is obscure and fascinating. It may interest your audience and help them become more invested in preserving the coral reefs. That's all from me. Thank you very much.
For my informative speech, I will be talking about life management. As for the attention grabber, I choose to start with captivating story. By starting with captivating story, it will draw the audience attention towards a story that might spark their curiosity as well as connecting with their emotion. I will start my speech with a story about Sheila, a hardworking woman who just started her career journey a few months ago. And after a few months of struggling, she started to feel lost and she needs to refresh her life. And that is when her life management journey starts. Sheila is a hardworking woman and she just started her career a few months ago. After a few months of struggling and experiencing the real working industry, she started to feel lost and not knowing whether she is doing the right thing or not. On one fine morning, she went to work as usual and she was busy finishing a report that she needed to send to her manager on that day. Suddenly, one of her colleagues asking her for a favor and she decided to help the colleague because it is the first favor of the day and she thinks that she will not have any issue if she helped her colleague. As she was helping the colleague, suddenly she received so many calls, especially from her boss and her manager. First, her boss asked her to find a solution for a problem at her workplace. Later, her manager asked her to submit the report that she hasn't finished. She also received a call from her siblings stating that one of her sister is in urgent of money and Sheila needs to transfer some amount of money as soon as possible. Her heart started to palpitating as if it were the train on the track. Fortunately, she managed to survive that day. As she came home, she burst into tears because she felt overwhelmed and she thinks she is not good enough and she is lost in her life. She needs to change. She cried until she fell asleep. Luckily, the next morning is Saturday. She woke up with a new hope in life. She drank a cup of coffee and staring at the window while having her breakfast. That moment, she realized that she needed to take a step back and reset her life.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone, my name is Natasha Alia, and for the attention variable, I choose audience involvement. So my topic is depression among college students. So what is depression? Depression can be defined as a level of feeling sad and a serious medical condition where a person feels very sad, hopeless and unimportant and often cannot live in a normal way. There are a lot of main causes for a student to feel depressed. One of the causes is higher expectation from parents. Some of their parents expect the child to be the highest mark achievers. So raise your hand if your parents expect you to get 4 flats or to be the highest mark achiever. Okay, I saw 3 of you raise your hand. So when a student cannot fulfill or cannot fill their parents' expectation, they feel that they are very useless. Okay, my second point is financial problems. Okay, raise your hand if you ever experience that you cannot you don't have enough money to buy foods or to buy books or laptops. Okay, I see a lot of you raise your hand. Okay, this shows that students that face financial problems may feel that they cannot afford or they cannot gain as much as knowledge that their friends get. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Irdina Zahia. So in this video, I'll present about the type of attention grabber technique in speech. The technique that I have chosen is mutual understanding. How mutual understanding can be practiced for attention grabber in speech is when people feel more connected to topics that have a direct impact on their life. It is vital to consider building a bridge that can make your audience want to know more about what you can share with them. If you can establish a mutual understanding with your audience, they may consider to have similar characteristics and have the capability to achieve the same things you have. For example, if you are giving a speech about how to achieve healthy diet, you may establish common ground with your audience by telling them that a few years ago you were in the position of having passion to practice healthy diet but you did not know how to start. Besides, you can share your personal experience that may connect with your audience. It will help them to get to know you more as a speaker. By sharing your story that you're comfortable with other people knowing, it may establish an emotional connection with your audience and keep them engaged in your speech by doing so. For example, if your speech is about raising awareness about mental health issue, you can start by explaining your own experience with mental health to identify with audience who may also have a personal connection to it. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and a very good day to you, Miss Haida. Today I'm going to present about attention grabber techniques that I chose, which is anecdote. As you can see, anecdote is about a real person story or their experience in their life. So why I chose anecdote is because it is to make the speech relevant. As you can see, some of the speakers, if they speak for too long, they're starting to insert something nonsense and out of the topic what they're trying to say or to speak to the audience. So by using anecdote, we can easily approach the audience and tell them about our life, what we've gone through, or our experience, so that they can easily understand. Okay, the second one, why I chose anecdote is because it can establish a real world context. For your information, real world context means that if you're using an anecdote, you describe the situation based on the true story of what you've gone through. For example, if you've had accident in your past life, then you speech about the speech. You tell the audience what you've gone through, whether it is a nightmare for you, whether it is horrible for you, so they can easily understand, so they can describe the situation, they can imagine what the situation is. So the last one is, it can easily affect the audience. Anecdote is a good attention grabber technique because it is a real story, so people will get interesting to hear your speeches. So as you can see, if you use a real story, so people tend to focus more. They will hear what are your experience, what you've gone through. So that's the basic simple way, and that is all from me. Thank you very much, Miss Haida.